Like everybody, I've got a laundry list of injuries that have happened to me. One of the things I'm happy and proud about, something I've never had to deal with, is torn muscles or pulled muscles. So that's something that I don't have experience with and can't really help you. I do have a laundry list of my own, and it started in high school. I tore my meniscus wrestling. Then I went on and played college football, and that doesn't do any favors for your knee, your body, or your head. And then finally, been powerlifting full-time for quite a while now and have really started to rack them up, both through lifting heavy weight and just getting older. So at this point, here's my resume of injuries. I've torn the meniscus in both knees. I've torn the labrum in both hips. I've torn the labrum in both shoulders. I've herniated an L5 S1 disc and an L4 L5 disc. I partially tore a patella tendon, and pretty much anything else I didn't mention probably hurts on my body at some point almost every day. These aren't trophies, but they're just experiences that can be valuable to you to help learn from what I've been through. And Dr. Stuart McGill says it the best: the gift of injury. Anytime you have an injury, you are going to learn more about that body part than you ever have and learn how to train around it. The more you get acclimated and learn things like that, the more you can start to apply it to other body parts and other injuries. A big benefit of staying healthy is that you can make more consistent progress longer. It's better to have a lower incline linear progress than it is to have a faster slope and keep having to dip down with injuries over time. I do have 4 principles that I've come up with myself, and I've applied them to pretty much every injury I've had. They are: do what you can, don't push it, get full range of motion back, know the difference. So 1, do what you can. Start off by trying to reverse engineer the lift. Generally, there's going to be some portion of that range of motion that hurts more than the others. So find different exercises, be creative, whether it's pin heights in the squat or pin heights in the bench press or partial range of motion deadlifts. Try and find that range of motion that hurts and then work outside of that range of motion. Good things to do, like I said, are safety pins set at various heights. It could be a slower controlled eccentric part of the motion. And obviously every injury is going to be different, both in the severity and recovery time of it. But I think that about 75% of injuries can be worked around by the normal strength athlete. Number 2, don't push it. This means don't get to where you can see light at the end of the tunnel. You think you're healthy, you think you're over it, you think you're recovered, and then jump back too far too soon and end up just setting yourself back. It's hard to control that excitement as you start to get your full range of motion back and you get healthier again, but don't be too overzealous. Once you get a pain-free full range of motion back, that is when you can start being consistent again about returning back to the level you were at before. And relating back to part 1, if you're able to reverse engineer part of your movements and stay strong and stay working out in those range of motions that aren't painful, you're going to be able to return full recovery in your full range of motion lift sooner. Number 3, get full range of motion back. Before you can say that you're 100% recovered from an injury, and even before you can start saying that you're fully healthy enough to return to try and get there, you have to get your full range of motion back that's pain-free. This is without a doubt the number 1 goal. This doesn't mean to force it or tough through it depending on the injury. And again, there's so many different injuries. I have to say, refer to a physical therapist or refer to your doctor, but don't push it too much. It certainly takes a different kind of discipline to stay on top of your injury recovery than it does to push your body hard in the weight training. It's not nearly as fun, it's not nearly as sexy, but committing to that rehab program is going to be vital to get you back where you want. Number 4, know the difference. Know the difference between being hurt and being injured. This is going to vary person to person, and it's going to vary based on the injury. I'm not telling you if you have a torn ACL to just tough through it and do squats. Every injury is going to be different, but make sure that you are being tough and that you know the difference between being hurt and being injured. Being hurt probably means something just aches, it hurts. There's nothing catastrophically wrong or nothing structurally wrong that you can make worse. Being injured means if you continue to do what you're doing, you may make it worse. So you do need to back off and seek medical intervention. The reality is that doing anything at a high level isn't healthy. Whether it's running marathons, being a sprinter, doing anything at a high level isn't healthy. If we choose to lift heavy weights, on some level, it's not healthy. You'll be hard pressed to find a normal doctor that is going to tell you that picking up 300 pounds or putting 400 pounds on your back is a healthy thing to do. So along with that, there are going to come times where it's painful. And as long as it's not a serious injury or something that's not torn or broken, you have to understand sometimes it's going to hurt, it's going to be painful, and you just need to push through. It's tough to give much more advice to this other than you're going to have to be in tune with your body, and this also comes through experience. So the longer that you train, the more things that happen, the more serious and non-serious things, you can start to put the puzzle pieces together, be very in tune with your body, and figure out when something's either hurt or injured. Hopefully you got a pretty good understanding here of learning the things that you can do and the options that are available to you to work around injuries, and understand that not all hope is lost just because something hurts.